Let's talk about encryption in Azure SQL. Encryption in Azure SQL, there is commonly used method, two methods. First is Transparent Data Encryption, TDE. The next is Always Encrypted. We will be talking about these two methods here. So Transparent Data Encryption is the method to encrypt the backup RDX. So any hacker will get this backup and they're not able to restore that backup. So that is the main goal, to have the transparent data encryption. And this transparent data encryption is the default enable in database level. So when you create a Azure SQL, by default we should be able to choose the version of TDE, just like here. There is a step, and you should be able to choose encryption in transit. So this is this is what we are talking about as transparent data encryption. They are default, like I said, and in order to restore that backup, we need to have the encryption key. So the administrator need to create the encryption key for further use. That's about the transparent data encryption. The other encryption is always encrypted. So always encrypted is basically encrypt the table data within table or in column level. We need a certificate to decrypt that table or decrypt that column. So I'll show you in this demo video how to do this always encryption and how to create this certificate and things like that. And there will be the two options to choose always encryption. If our column are has a many distinct value, then you can choose the deterministic encryption method, versus if the column has less distinct value, then you can choose the randomized encryption method. These are two methods we can choose to perform the always encryption on column level. At the end, what I'm going to say here is to store these keys, encryption key, certificate, password, we can use Azure Key Vault service. So I'll show you how we can use this service as well. And then to enable the connection, encryption connection and SQL Server, we need to go to the SQL Server properties, and we have to click on certificate and set the expiration date. Also, you gotta do the flag and force encryption to yes, and click OK. So these are two things you have to configure. And at the end, when we connect the SQL Server, we have to enable the connection, encrypt connection. We have to enable encrypt connection by going connection property. So these are a couple of items we have to perform. Is a part of always encryption method to view the data or things like that. So let's go to our demo. So in order to do this demo, I'm going to open this SQL server, and then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create one database. Give me 1 second. I have the script ready to show you. So let me have the create database on this demo. So database has been created, and then with that database I'm going to have one quick table. So the table, I have employee table, and then this employee table has SSN, first name, last name, and salary. Let me use Contoso first, and then I'm going to run this schema, and then I'm going to create the table. Okay, and then with that table we will be let's insert a couple of records, like 2 records. So we inserted 2 records. Let's see how this table look like now. CTE. From this table, I have the 2 records which has SSN number, first name, last name, and salary. Right. So what we are going to do is we are going to encrypt this SSN and salary because they are maybe personal data, right? So I go to my server. I'm gonna expand my database. For this database, I have just created Contoso SR database. I'm gonna expand that. Then I'm gonna go to the table, and within table I have the employee table, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna right click, and then I'm gonna click on encrypt column here. Now I'm gonna click on next, and right here I'm going to choose the column that I want to re-encrypt. So I'm going to choose the SSN, and I'm going to choose the salary. So for SSN, like we discussed earlier, for deterministic versus randomized, I would say SSN has many distinct value versus salary. So I will go the type. Encryption type is deterministic for SSN and randomized for salary. So these two types that we are talking about. And then I'm going to click on next. With this next, there is auto-generated master key. So we need that master key in order to view that the data after encrypt this column. And select the store provider. So how we can store this data, master key, right? So there are two options. The Windows certificate store is automatically stored in some default folder in window of this computer. The another is we can choose for Azure Key Vault. We can sign in your Microsoft account from here, and then it's gonna be stored in the key vault. Right. So for now, I'm gonna use Windows certificate, and then select the master key source is for current user. I'm gonna click next. And then I'm gonna click next here, and what this is going to do is going to run the script. So it's going to generate. So in this script, what is happening here is encrypt the column SSN, encrypt the column salary, and then there is an encryption key is provided right here. So this key will be saved and in Windows server certificate store like / current user. So right here, if I had to choose the Azure master key, then it would store in Azure master key, right? So for now, I'm going to click on next, and then it creating the master key at the beginning. Master key is completed, and generating the encryption key in the second, and then performing encryption operation is the third. So once that's done, we are done for encrypting part for those two columns. And then in order to see the data, okay, so this is completed. Now I can close it. So now what I can do is if I run this table again, I'm not able to see this SSN number and then salary column because they are encrypted. If I run the same column, same script, right? So let's start from this. So this is what we are talking about, the encryption. In order to see the data, what I need to do is we need to go make the configuration change, connection configuration. If I click on connection, then I have to go to connection property, and then always encrypted actually, and then I'm going to click on always encrypted option and click on connect. Now what I need to do is I need to see the table like top 100 again. Now you see the result was displayed because I was connected with always encrypted option. I was able to see this record after enabling that always encryption option, that because that the key, the encryption key, the key we are talking about, it was saved in Windows Server here. But you know, for the user, if they even like do the same activity like always encrypted and click on enable, they need that, you know, the encryption key in order to see this result. Without the encryption key, they are not able to see the data just like this. So this is all about the encryption or always encryption that I was planning to cover in this video. I hope this helps. So what we talked about in this video was we talked about the transparent data encryption and always encryption, and we performed the demo for always encryption and column level. That's all for now. See you in the next video. Bye for now.